Anna was an ordinary young woman, but the situation she faced was far from ordinary. Her story didn't begin with love or happiness. It began with fear. She had a younger brother, and they were very close. Anna had always looked after him, like a mother. He was the most important person in her life. One day, her brother came home in tears. He was in serious danger. He had borrowed a large amount of money from some dangerous men, people who didn't just ask nicely when they wanted to be paid. They had threatened him. They said, "If you don't pay us back, we'll hurt you." Anna saw the fear in her brother's eyes. His hands were shaking, and he begged her for help. She felt like her world was falling apart. She didn't have the money. She didn't know who to turn to. She thought about asking friends or neighbors, but the amount was too much, and time was short. Her brother's life was in danger, and every second mattered. Then she remembered someone. His name was Alex. Alex was a wealthy man. He had expensive clothes, fast cars, and a big house. But more importantly, he had always liked Anna. He had told her many times before, "Anna, I can give you anything you want. Just say the word. But you must be mine." Anna didn't love him. In fact, she had always felt uncomfortable around him. But in that moment, she felt completely trapped. Should she go to Alex? Could she ask for help from a man who wanted something in return? She had no answer. But she knew she couldn't let her brother die. So, even though she was scared, even though it hurt her pride, she went to Alex's house. She looked into his eyes and said, "Alex, I need your help. My brother is in danger. Please, lend me the money." Alex didn't seem surprised. In fact, he smiled. "I'll give you the money," he said. "But only if you agree to marry me." Anna felt cold inside. She had hoped for kindness. She had hoped he would help without asking for something so personal. But Alex had made it clear. Money in exchange for marriage. She told him, "I don't love you, Alex. Please understand." But Alex didn't care. He repeated his words. "If you want the money, you must be mine." Anna was heartbroken. Her brother's life or her freedom, what should she choose? She cried. She hesitated. But in the end, she said yes. She couldn't let her brother die. Alex gave her the money. She took it, her hands shaking, her heart full of pain. But as she walked away from his house, something inside her felt wrong. She had agreed. But could she really marry him? That night, she couldn't sleep. Her brother was safe for now, but her own life felt like a prison. She knew she had made a deal, but her heart wouldn't let her go through with it. She made a decision. She would return the money. But what happened next would change everything. After Anna took the money from Alex, her heart felt heavy. She had made a painful choice to save her brother, a choice that went against everything she believed in. She didn't feel proud. She didn't feel safe. She didn't feel free. That night, She sat alone, thinking deeply. Her brother's life was no longer in danger. She had given him the money to pay the dangerous men. But now her own life felt like it wasn't hers anymore. Alex expected her to marry him. He believed she had said yes, but Anna knew deep inside that she couldn't do it. She couldn't marry someone she didn't love, someone who had used her fear to get what he wanted. So she made a brave decision. She would return the money and end it. Anna went back to Alex's house. Her hands were shaking as she walked up to the door. She hoped that he would understand, that he would listen. But when she entered the house, things felt wrong. Alex was there, smiling. But his smile wasn't kind. It made her feel nervous, even scared. He walked closer to her. She could feel the pressure in the room growing. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to return the money. Anna's heart started beating fast. She looked around the room. Her eyes stopped at a large vase on the table. Without thinking, she grabbed it. In a moment of panic and fear, she hit Alex with the vase. He fell to the ground. She didn't wait to see if he was okay. Her only thought was to get out, to escape. She ran. She didn't know where she was going. She just ran. Through streets, alleys, past strangers. Her legs were hurting, but she didn't stop. She kept running until her body couldn't take it anymore. Finally, far away from Alex's house, she saw a small house at the edge of a quiet road. There were no lights. Everything was silent. She knocked on the door, hoping someone kind lived there. To her surprise, a young man opened the door. His name was Jack. Anna's eyes were tired. Her voice was weak, but she managed to say, "Please, help me. I have nowhere else to go." Jack looked at her, confused, curious, but gentle. He could see she was in trouble. He didn't ask questions. He simply said, "Come in." That one moment, Jack opening the door, would change Anna's life. Forever. He gave her a warm blanket, a quiet place to sit, something to drink. He didn't ask her who she was or what she had done. He just made her feel safe. For 3 days, Anna stayed in Jack's house. During that time, she rested, and her fear slowly faded. But one day, the police came. They knocked on doors in the area, asking about a young woman. Anna was terrified. She knew Alex had called them, but Jack stayed calm. He hid her. He protected her. She couldn't believe it. This stranger, someone she had never met before, was helping her when she needed it most. That's when Anna decided to tell Jack the truth. She told him everything: her brother's danger, Alex's offer, the money, and the night she ran. Jack listened quietly. When she finished, he didn't judge her. He didn't get angry. He simply said, "You did what you had to do. You were trying to save your family." His words touched Anna's heart. She looked at Jack differently now. He wasn't just a kind man. He was the first person in a long time who truly understood her. After nearly a year of growing closer, Anna and Daniel had built something beautiful. Their relationship was full of kindness, understanding, and trust. Anna felt safe with Daniel. She laughed again. She hoped again. She believed in love again. But one quiet Friday afternoon, everything changed. Anna had just finished a long shift at the hospital. She was tired, but her heart was full. She decided to surprise Daniel. She knew he often went to his favorite cafe after work to relax, so she walked there with a small smile on her face, excited to see him. She imagined sitting with him, having coffee, and talking about the day. But what she saw when she entered the cafe made her stop in her tracks. Daniel wasn't alone. He was sitting with a woman, a beautiful woman. She was tall, had long hair, and a bright, friendly smile. They were laughing, talking closely, and looked completely comfortable together. Anna's heart sank. She stood at the door, frozen. Her mind was racing. Who is she? Why didn't he tell me about her? Is she his girlfriend? Have I been wrong about Daniel all this time? Her chest felt tight. Her hands were cold. She didn't know what to do. Should she walk in and say hello? Or should she leave quietly and pretend she never saw it? She chose to leave. She walked out of the cafe with a heavy heart, her mind full of questions. All the peace she had felt over the past year now felt shaken. That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Daniel and the woman. She remembered their smiles, the way they looked at each other, and the sound of their laughter. The next morning, her heart still hurt. She didn't want to believe anything bad, but she also couldn't ignore what she saw. She felt confused, scared, and unsure. Was Daniel hiding something? Had she made a mistake by trusting him? Later that day, Daniel called her. He sounded normal, cheerful even, like nothing was wrong. "Hey, Anna, do you want to go for a walk this evening?" he asked. Anna hesitated. She didn't know if she could act like everything was okay, but she said yes. She needed to talk to him and find out the truth. They met at the park. Daniel smiled like he always did. They walked together, talking about their day, but Anna wasn't really listening. Her thoughts kept returning to the cafe. Finally, she stopped walking. She turned to Daniel and said with a shaky voice, "Daniel, I need to ask you something." He looked concerned. "What's wrong, Anna?" "I saw you yesterday at the cafe with a woman," she said slowly, trying to stay calm. "You seemed close. I thought maybe she was your girlfriend." Daniel looked surprised. His eyes widened. "You saw me at the cafe?" he asked. "Yes," Anna whispered. There was a pause. Then Daniel smiled and gently took her hand. "Anna," he said kindly, "that woman wasn't my girlfriend. She's my cousin. Her name is Emma." Anna blinked. "Your cousin?" "Yes," Daniel nodded. "Emma just moved to the city. She doesn't know anyone here, so I was helping her feel more comfortable. I didn't mention it because, well, I didn't think it was important. Anna let out a deep breath. Part relief, part embarrassment. I'm sorry, Daniel, she said. I saw you two together and I jumped to the wrong conclusion. Daniel smiled softly and squeezed her hand. It's okay, Anna. I understand why you were worried, but you don't have to be. There's no one else. You're the only person I care about. And in that moment, Anna knew. She had nothing to fear. After the moment in the park, Anna felt lighter. She had feared losing Daniel. She had imagined the worst when she saw him with another woman. But instead, she discovered something beautiful. The woman was his cousin, and Daniel was just being aunt. That night, Anna sat alone and thought deeply. She had nearly let her fear ruin something good. But Daniel had stayed calm. He had listened. He hadn't judged her. That kind of understanding was rare, and it made Anna realize something. It was time to tell him the truth. All of it. Daniel had always been honest with her. He shared his past, his dreams, and his feelings openly. And now, Anna knew that if their relationship was going to grow even stronger, she had to be brave too. She had to share the parts of her heart she had been keeping hidden. One evening, while they were having dinner together, Daniel gently asked, Anna, can I ask you something? She looked up from her plate and nodded. Can you tell me about your past relationships? Anna paused. Her hands trembled slightly. She hadn't told anyone about Michael in a long time. But looking into Daniel's kind eyes, she felt ready. She took a deep breath and began. There was someone before we met again, she said softly. His name was Michael. Daniel didn't interrupt. He just listened. We met at the hospital. He was a doctor. At first I thought he was kind and honest, but later I found out he was married. He didn't tell me the truth in the beginning, and when I found out, I was heartbroken. She looked down, her voice shaking a little. I cared about him, even when I knew it wasn't right. But in the end, I walked away. I couldn't be part of someone else's story. I wanted to live my own life, with truth, with peace. Daniel reached across the table and gently held her hand. I'm glad you told me, Anna, he said warmly. That must have been hard, but I want you to know I respect you even more now. Tears touched Anna's eyes, but they weren't from pain. They were from relief. Daniel continued, Everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone learns from them. You did, and that takes strength. In that quiet moment, Anna felt something deep settle in her heart. Trust. From then on, Anna and Daniel's relationship grew even stronger. They weren't just enjoying time together. They were building something real. Something based on honesty, respect, and emotional support. They still laughed. They still walked in the park and shared coffee. But now, their bond was deeper. Anna Anna didn't feel like she had to hide anymore, and Daniel never made her feel ashamed of her past. He saw her fully and still chose to love her. Anna no longer looked back with sadness. She now saw her past with understanding. Every mistake had taught her something. Every hurt had made her stronger. And without all of that, she might never have found Daniel. For the viewer, this part of Anna's story teaches us that real love is not just about romance. It's about trust, honesty, and healing. When you find someone who listens without judging, who stands by you after hearing your truth, hold on to them. And remember, your past does not define your future. Your story is still being written. You deserve a love that brings peace, not pain. This is English Story with Aaliyah, where every story touches your heart and helps you grow. After Anna shared her past with Daniel, something inside her changed. She no longer felt the weight of old memories. She had told him everything, her mistakes, her fears, her heartbreak. And Daniel hadn't walked away. He had stayed, listened, and reminded her that she was worthy of love. From that moment, their relationship became even stronger. They didn't just enjoy the good days. They supported each other through the hard ones too. They helped each other grow, slowly and gently. Anna no longer felt scared of love. She felt safe. She felt respected. And more than anything, she felt seen, not just for who she had been, but for who she was becoming. One day, while walking together through the park where they first reconnected, Daniel stopped and looked at her with serious eyes. He reached for her hand and smiled softly. "Anna," he said, "there's something I want to ask you." Anna looked at him, feeling a little nervous. His voice was calm, but her heart began to beat faster. "I've been thinking about us," he continued. "I know we haven't been together for that long, but I can't imagine my life without you. You make me happy every day, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Anna's eyes filled with tears. Then Daniel reached into his pocket and took out a small box. Inside was a beautiful ring. "Anna," he said gently, "will you marry me?" Anna felt her heart fill with emotion. She hadn't expected this moment, but she knew the answer. Deep inside, she knew. "Yes," she whispered, her voice full of joy. "Yes, I will." They hugged under the warm light of the afternoon sun, and as Daniel slipped the ring onto her finger, Anna realized something powerful. Life had led her through pain, through confusion, through heartbreak. But it had also brought her here, to love, to peace, to a future filled with hope. After that day, Anna and Daniel began planning their life together. They didn't rush. They didn't try to be perfect. They just kept choosing each other, every day. They faced challenges, of course. Life wasn't always easy. But now, Anna had a partner who stood beside her through it all. When she felt tired, he supported her. When he felt unsure, She reminded him of his strength. They were a team, built not on fantasy, but on real understanding and trust. Anna no longer thought about Michael. He was part of her past. And while that past had hurt her, it had also taught her what she truly deserved. It had helped her grow into someone stronger, wiser, and more open to real love. For the viewer, Anna's story reminds us that heartbreak doesn't mean the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of something better. Sometimes love finds you again, quietly, kindly, when your heart is ready. And when you finally find someone who listens, who respects you, and who loves your soul, not just your smile, you'll realize everything you went through brought you here for a reason. Let go of what hurt you. Believe in what's ahead. Because your next chapter might be the most beautiful one yet. This is English Story with Aaliyah, where love, healing, and hope come to life in every story.